Well, it was the Carabao Cup, it was Aston Villa, and it was a game that I thought was going to be very, very tricky. My name is Stephen Dawes, this is Palace of the Court. Don't forget to subscribe for more Crystal Palace news, views and reviews. And, well, it was actually a very strong squad that Oliver Glasner put out. Turner was in goal. He was one of our, well, he was a US international. And he came in for Henderson. And Wharton played, which I thought was a bit of a surprise. I wasn't expecting him to play in this game. I thought that maybe Oliver Glasner would rest him. But no, he did play. And Hughes was also in the middle there with him as well. There was no Sarr, but there was Nketiah and JP and all those in there as well. So it was a strong squad from us. And obviously Oliver Glasner said that he wants the team to win every game that we're part of, which is obviously good news to hear. And first half, it was pretty much as I expected it to be, in terms of the fact that, you know, Aston Villa were trying to enforce their will upon the game. I felt that we were doing all right. I felt that we were trying to play the way that we had been playing, the way that we played in the previous game. I felt that we were working really hard. We had a lot of energy, a lot of tenacity again, which really pleased me after the game against Tottenham Hotspur, because obviously the game was not far away from this one, and I wasn't sure how the legs were going to be. But yeah, we continued. We pressed really high, and we were determined to get the ball of Aston Villa, and it worked. We were trying it. We were getting the ball in the tackle, and just sheer weight of numbers, I think, at times was enough to put them off their game. And I think that's pretty much what we were doing. We were just trying to bombard them with players, and we're trying to get the ball off them, and it just trying to upset their flow, if you know what I mean. They did have a couple of good chances, however, and it wasn't all one way. We did have some good possession, but they also had some good chances as well. However, it was a goal from Eze that started the ball rolling, and the ball in the back of the net by Eze on his head, which was absolutely fantastic. I don't think I've seen him score many headers. I don't know, there might be a stats person out there that can tell me how many headers he scored. I don't think he scores that many headers, so it was really good. It was fantastic to see, and obviously a great start for us against Aston Villa, who are, even though it was kind of like a second side they'd put out almost, they're still a very capable team. And that was the highlight of the first half. There was then, of course, a couple of lows that came after that. First of all was Eze pulling up and asking the bench to be substituted. So that was a bit of a shock to see that. I mean, he didn't really do a huge amount. He was just running back, trying to track back, and then just pulled up. He was then substituted for Kamada. And then literally about 10 minutes later or so, Adam Wharton pulled up and was also substituted. He was substituted with Jeffrey Schlupp, and it was a bit of a shock, to have two of our best players substituted in such a short space of time was very difficult, and I felt that we kind of lost our momentum after that. And then, of course, Aston Villa managed to get the equaliser, and it was perhaps Turner could have done a little bit better with it. But, it's one of those things that, they were trying to get the equaliser and press us quite hard. And even though we were dealing with most of it, I felt that obviously that goal was a bit of a shame. Because from then to half time, we were kind of a little bit on the back foot. Aston Villa were pressing really hard, and we were battling quite a lot at the end of the first half. And I was a bit concerned that might be the end of our game plan, if you know what I mean, or the end of our tenacity. But second half, we came out and we were actually back on the front foot again. We had a lot of possession, I think, in the second half. And even though Aston Villa were trying to get us on the break a lot of the time, we were getting back and tackling in and, putting them off and blocking shots and stuff like that. We were working really hard. The players were getting up and down the pitch really quickly, which, I say we've seen that for the last couple of games now, and I'm wondering whether they're now getting into this rhythm and into this fitness level where they're able to do it, because every game that goes on, they're able to sustain this high press for a little bit longer. So I was really pleased to see that. And we were playing really well. I thought that we were passing the ball around quite well. We did lose the ball a couple of times again, but in general terms, I thought that we were okay. And then we got the high press paid off because Daichi Kamada got his first goal for the club. It was a high press, as I said, and managed to nick the ball off him, and Kamada just came across the front of the goal, and then a quick shot into the bottom corner of the net to put the goalkeeper off his footing, and it was a good goal. I thought it was a good goal. I thought that we deserved it, actually, because we had such good possession. We were getting forward quite well, and I was really pleased with that goal, and I think Daichi Kamada was very pleased as well, and so was the whole team. It's great. I mean, I know that we've been critical of Daichi Kamada, and he did have an interview after the game where he said that he doesn't feel that he's at his best yet, but he's working to get there. And I think that he's obviously being played a lot of the time in a position that he's not familiar with, or at least not used to, and so I think that in this game, some of his passing was really good. Some of it was a bit off, but there were some really good passes in there. I felt he was trying to tackle back. He got in some good tackles as well, and he got the goal. So I think overall, I don't think he had a bad game at all, really. So, but let me know what you think about that, of course, down in the comment section. And after we got that second goal, I was a bit concerned that we might sit back, or that Aston Villa would, start to beat us down a little bit, but actually it didn't. We were still getting forward, and yes, Aston Villa were still trying to get to us on the break, but we were still getting forward. We were still working really hard. We still had chances even after the second goal, and I felt that we were the best form of defence is attack, as they say, and that's what we were doing. We were trying to put the ball into their third rather than have it sitting in our third, which was absolutely fantastic. I thought that was a very hard fought game, especially after the hard fought game against Tottenham Hotspur. And Schlupp, for me, I think the problem with Schlupp is he hasn't played a huge amount, and he did look like he was treading water halfway through the second half, and he was eventually substituted, and I could understand that because he was pretty much dead on his feet by the end of by the halfway through the second half, and so Sarr came on, Klein came on to kind of shore things up towards the end of the game. But I felt that we did really well. I felt that we played really well. Yes, it was a weakened Aston Villa team, but again, we had to play them, and they were a threat at times. And that's how the game finished, 2-1 to Crystal Palace. I felt that all of the players worked incredibly hard. I really do think so. I think that Kamada had a decent game. Hughes had a really good game again. I felt he's really good in the middle there. Got his obligatory yellow card, but I felt he worked really hard. Lacroix, I thought looked really good. He's really cementing himself in my estimation, because he seems to think so cool and calm, and he was even having a go at a couple of the Aston Villa attackers. So he looks like he's got a bit of steel in him as well. But yeah, he did really well. I felt Chalobah had a good game. I felt he played well. I think that there wasn't really a bad performance from any of them. I think even Adam Wharton, before he went off, he was playing really well too. So JP had a couple of chances, but he was working hard for the team. He was chasing back and running forward and closing down. So even though he didn't get a goal, he did work really hard. And I think, as did the whole team, I thought it was a really good all-round team performance. But let me know down in the comment section what you think. Do you think it was a very good game? And what are your hopes now for the game against Wolves? I will be doing a video tomorrow, of course, and I'll see you next time.